Welcome back, Throttlers. Aristotle Full Throttle here. Alien. Great movie. Aliens. Excellent movie. Alien 3, más o menos. And there are some who say Alien Resurrection is absolute garbage. Alien Resurrection is a complete train wreck. Despite being written by Joss Whedon, I think that movie has a huge missed opportunity as how they could have brought back Ripley after she died at the end of Alien 3. Now, I know they wanted to keep the franchise going, so they needed to make a fourth Alien movie, and they needed to make an Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver because she's a badass. And she, especially at that time, was inextricably linked with the success of those movies, and studios, being how studios are, their reasoning usually is, how do we make more money? As we know, in the world of movies and comic books, no one ever really stays dead. So as long as money talks in Hollywood, the dead will continue to walk. Now, one of my earliest videos was on this subject, but I really want to hammer home the point that this was a missed opportunity. So although there are so many things that you can do to make Alien Resurrection a better movie. Hey, wait a second. Is that Tuco from Breaking Bad? Tight, yeah! But other than that accidental stroke of genius, that movie made a huge mistake in making a believable return of Ripley's character. And I'm about to explain how you could have done that in a way that I think would have been satisfying to the audience in my Aristotle Full Throttle Movie Tweak of the Week. In the movie Alien Resurrection, they just keep making clone after clone of Ripley because they want to clone her with the alien queen growing inside her so that they can study it, weaponize it, do the whole thing that evil corporations do. 20th Century Fox, they just wanted to clone Ripley again. But I remember, even as a kid, waiting for that movie to come out and hoping that they would do this. This is the only way that I think you could have brought Ripley's character back in a satisfying, believable fashion. If you remember, about halfway through the movie Alien 3, Ripley reactivates Bishop so he can scan the record of the escape pod.
Bishop, can you access data on the flight recorder?
No problem.
Was there an alien on board?
Yes.
And that's why the company already knows about it when they show up.
The company knows everything that happened on the ship.
Hang on a second. What the hell is that, VHS? Anyway, it's kind of like the first Alien.
Bring back life form. Priority 1. All other priorities rescinded.
And then later on in Alien 3, she uses the escape pod to do a full body scan, which reveals that she's carrying a queen embryo. Now, it stands to reason because it's already set up that the escape pod has some sort of black box that records every event that happens. Presumably, that black box would retain a complete and detailed record of Ripley's body scan.
I have detailed files.
And at the very end of Alien 3, during the denouement, they show us the escape pod, almost as if that's a clue or a possible setup for a sequel. It seems to me that the easiest solution for Weyland-Yutani would be to just recover that black box in the beginning of Alien Resurrection. And you could spend the good part of the first 20 minutes of that next movie having them trying to reconstruct the alien queen molecule by molecule from the data recording. Pretty much the same principle as the transporter in Star Trek or the telepods in The Fly and Jeff Goldblum. But the company would then realize that they'd have to also reconstruct Ripley in order to incubate the alien queen growing inside her. And at that point, it's so far in the future, they know how to remove the alien from her body, and they keep her alive so they can ask her questions about it. Just like Paul Reiser did in Aliens. Booyah! Wow! Thus, she would be able to retain her memories all the way up until the point she was scanned, so she would virtually be the exact same Ripley. Why wouldn't they do that? Instead, they went down a weird road of alien hybrids and giant alien babies and terrible lines like,
Who do I have to to get off this boat?
yeah, me too, dude. Me too. You can't convince me that if you clone someone from their cells, they're gonna have memories of their former life. That is the dumbest idea ever.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
I just don't buy that.
Snatch!
So what do you guys think about that movie tweak? I think it would have made the movie at least believable from the get-go. That entire premise of that movie is flawed in my opinion. Neil Blomkamp actually had an idea for a sequel that would bypass Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection altogether, where Hicks, Newt, and Bishop survive. They're about to go into pre-production for it, but recently Ridley Scott has 86'd the whole deal. But I also have a way that they could have bypassed Alien 3 and 4 without retconning the timeline. So stay tuned for my next Aristotle Full Throttle Movie Tweak of the Week. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can always support this channel on Patreon, and since YouTube is going through some economical growing pains, it would really help this channel out if you did pledge at least $1 a month to my Patreon. Or you can Venmo. But you can always support this channel by leaving this video a like, subscribing, and sharing with your friends. Remember to turn on those notifications so you get these videos right away. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle, your bro in the know with the fro. And I'll see you later.
Tight, yeah!